What is going on, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of the Soldier and Fusha Only Show. I'm Soldier Only.
With the one and only Fusha here as well. Not so much to talk about, but we do got things to talk about, so thank you for joining us.
Yep, last week, as we talked about, there was, for starters, obviously, we always kick things off with Doctor Who lately, since it is, the Doctor Who season is
Yes.
currently going. But then last week's episode was actually a two-parter, so this week
Yeah.
we got to see.
I
Yes.
just let people know there'd be spoilers, because if you haven't seen it,
Yeah,
that's too bad.
yeah. When we do talk about Doctor Who, we do talk about the previous episode, and there is spoilers. So, and then eventually we'll get into Destiny 2 as well. E3. I also want to talk a lot about E3 because that's coming up soon.
Yes. And then the Gaming Con is coming up in about a month and a half.
Beginning of July. Yeah, the gaming
So,
convention here in Salt Lake City where we live.
it's about a month, so we'll have to put money aside so we can go.
Yeah,
And take the nephews.
Yeah, because we told them last year
Yeah.
that we were going to take them, so they've been looking forward to it for a whole year, just like us.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what it's going to be like because remember last year I think it was only the second year. It was our first year going, but I think it was like the second year they had done it.
Mm-hmm. And we showed up on a Sunday shortly before they closed.
Was it a Sunday?
Might have been a Saturday.
Could have been a Sunday, but it might have been Saturday.
I know, yeah, it was on a Saturday because your coworker went the next day and got us another thing. So it was Saturday it was either Friday or Saturday that we went.
That's right.
But we didn't get there until about 45 minutes before they closed.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really have much opportunity to look over everything.
Yeah. But see, what I'm really curious about it is because Salt Lake Comic Con had bought it or whatever, and they kind of, and supposedly it was a lot bigger than it was the year before.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what it's going to be like this year compared to last year, since we have something to compare it to now. Since we went last year, 'cause last year, like I said, it was our first time going, and we didn't really know what to expect.
We should not only save up a little money for the tickets, but save up a little something to get him like a shirt.
Yeah, because I want to get him something.
Yeah.
We and me and you, we don't vlog or anything, but it'd be kind of cool to vlog it. I mean, at least have some kind of content to put, for YouTube.
That might exceed my confidence levels in public.
I know, wouldn't it feel awkward? Because, like, you know how we watch the Tiffy memes vlogs, and they handle it so well. They just walk around in public, with their camera pointing at it. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a California thing, maybe they see it a lot more often. Granted, they're in Northern California,
True.
so it's not like it's LA.
I mean,
where everybody's a movie star.
I don't have Snapchat anymore, but I mean, like, if we did, like, little short videos of this is what we saw,
Right.
or like, went live.
Well,
on
obviously,
Facebook.
we'll take pictures and put them, like, on the Instagram, so there'll be, like, content for that,
but like, actually recording in front, like, people I don't know, it would just.
I don't know if I can do that either now that I kind of think about it.
Yeah, it would just exceed my confidence levels because, I mean, this is different. This we're in the comfort of our own home,
right,
and things, but out in public, people be like, "Oh, what are they recording? Let's photobomb them. Let's do this.
Mess with us. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, probably mess with us, or
they might support us and be like, woo, or it just gets that anxious bus going where I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it does pick up my anxiety a little bit. I didn't really think about it before I said that. I just kind of.
Well, that's why you have me.
But after I think about it, yeah. So.
That's okay. That's why I have you too.
Another thing I want to mention before we get into Doctor Who as well is the Twitch channel. We got affiliated.
Yes.
Because.
Did we not say that last week?
No, because it was earlier this week, wasn't it?
It
was Monday. Because it was Monday. I got the email Monday. That's right. Because I think it's Mondays when they set out because it is automated.
Yeah, because I had the day off and you told me that you got affiliated, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Monday. Right. So we finally got that email Monday, and I got home after work, set everything up. So
check out the stream.
Yeah.
Donate.
So bits are active in the on the channel now.
I'm still trying to figure out how I can get bits.
I think eventually they're going to I mean, eventually, I see. It's funny because, well, not funny, but it's interesting is the better word, because this is kind of an experiment that Twitch is doing as well too. You know, like when they rolled this out, Twitch even said that, you know, a lot of things can change. You know,
Yeah,
like the parameters for what they want you to have before they invite you can change. Eventually, they've talked about possibly
but
adding like maybe sub buttons
yeah,
or
I
ad
think
revenue, game sales
I
or
think
whatever
they're
and
gonna
all that.
wait for that because when you get partnered, you get the subscriptions and
Hmm.
the ad
Ad revenue
revenue
too.
and things like that. But you notice with this affiliate program that more people are becoming not only affiliated but partnered
Yeah, because Twitch even says in it that this is like a
on the
step.
road too.
Yeah, it's a first
It's like a
step.
test run.
Hmm.
I just hope it turns out to be good.
See that's true that you say that too because say you're a streamer. This is just an example. This isn't my situation by any means. Say you're a streamer. Say you're not in that range of like being considered for partnership yet, but say you're definitely in the range to be affiliated. So say you get affiliated and so maybe you don't have really technically the 80 to 100 and some odd user or concurrent
True.
viewers that they normally want for partnership, but you do have a good viewer base and a dedicated and a loyal viewer base that donates a lot. And say you get affiliated and then all of a sudden you're making all this money from bits and donations and stuff, and Twitch sees that, and it's like, well, wow, they don't necessarily have the 100 or whatever viewers, concurrent viewers, but they make a lot of money. So
Well,
this could almost be a new a,
stepping
a
stone.
new a new metric to be judged to go to partnership for.
Well, that brings up my question. How long has Twitch been around?
A lot longer than a lot of people think.
But,
Because before it was Twitch, it was actually called Justin TV. Look at people like Goth and
mhm.
Roman, two of the biggest Destiny streamers. They've
They've been
actually been
around.
streaming for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Well, it seems like with this affiliate program that they're also broadening, I can't say that word, but
Their reach.
their reach. Yeah, because
Mhm.
when streamers found out that they could get affiliated, it, I feel like it motivated them a little more.
Oh, it did.
And it opened up more revenue for Twitch itself that wasn't necessarily there before.
Oh,
So
by far.
even though they've been around for 4 years, it seems like now that they have a good steady base, they're winding it, like you said with the games. They want to try and start
Start selling
selling
games.
games
And yeah.
to where if you're watching a streamer, you don't know if you want to get this game or not, and you like the gameplay, you can just go and buy the game and
Click a link and then you can buy the game.
yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, but Twitch is also expanding their reaches. Like you look at their creative directories that there's music and artists and craftsmen and so much different chefs. There's so many different things. So
Mhm.
like now it's not just like a necessarily just video game thing now. Granted, video game is its bread and butter, but there's still a lot of other types of content and stuff that you can watch on it.
They're definitely growing,
Oh,
and
by far. I
it's
think they're in the billion dollar company now. I
yeah,
think they're in that range.
it's quite incredible. I like it. I like Twitch.
Yeah, I love it too. It's awesome.
It's the
Like
best.
me and you don't even really watch that much TV. Like Twitch is what we have on more than anything. Like even if we're not
You
streaming.
don't. I still watch
Well,
TV.
technically, yeah. You watch TV like when I'm
Um,
streaming and stuff. But
which reminds me about TV. Just a little quick note. I don't know when the Detour is coming back, but I hope it comes back soon. That show.
well, the
I
season
love.
didn't end that long ago, so
True.
it's gonna be a little bit.
Okay, but
Speaking of
anyways,
coming up soon, actually, this pertains to maybe not next week, but Wonder Woman is coming out soon on
yes.
June 2nd.
If we have the funds, we should go see it as a matinee so we can review it.
Yeah, yeah, we need to see that. I think that should actually be out by next week's episode, so we could probably, if we see it this week,
I
or wait,
think
what's
no,
the date today even? 28th. Yeah, today's the 28th, so yeah,
and it comes out like the second, and I think
second.
that's Friday. So if,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
so if we see it matinee Sunday, then we might be able to.
So stay tuned. If we see it this week,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it on next week's episode. But I digress. Doctor Who last night.
Yes, Doctor Who. Um, Oh wow,
It was the second part, so
for
what?
once it wasn't me that digressed.
Yeah, I had
Well, it was the second part of Doctor Who of last week's episode and this past week's episode. It didn't turn out exactly how I expected it to, which is good because that's what I love about the show. It's so unpredictable.
hmm
But while watching it last night, I couldn't help but think, when are they going to get Misty out of the vault? When are they going to have her redeem herself for all the wrong she's done?
It looks like next week.
Yeah.
It looks like in the preview. Actually, the clip that it shows of her real quick in next week's episode, it looks like she's it looks like she's either still in the vault or almost looks like a TARDIS or something. So
Well,
I don't know if she's out.
and even with the two-parter, it was interesting how they didn't just defeat the shadow people, the monks. And and I understand Bill's point of what's the word, consent,
Yeah,
consenting,
you have to give, yeah, they have to give consent.
and you know she was scared, but she did it out of love for the doctor.
So her consent was pure, is what it was.
I kind of didn't want her to do it, but not only was it passed out in the TARDIS because of the chemical
Yeah,
that he couldn't show him where. Cause it would have been cool to defeat him because I think that is one of the first times the doctor hasn't just outright beat him, like the silence. Like the silence was a two-parter with like the whole story arc of,
yeah, that one was a two-part.
yeah, with like the impossible astronaut and things like that, and we are the silence. And I'm so used to him going to different universes, different planets, different,
hmm
or even just staying in London, but he always defeats the bad guy.
Yeah,
And in this one, he was unable. He almost defeated him, but because he was blind, it's an interesting turn.
we'll see. And what's
So it
interesting
wasn't much of
is seeing next week's episode, the preview of next week. It it still has to do with what these episodes have been. So it's
Yeah,
technically not kind. I mean, you can kind of look at it as like a part three
yeah. It's
because
turning
they're
into a
not really.
story
Yeah,
arc.
yeah. It's the arc. You can tell it's definitely the overall season arc. One thing that really threw me for the loop on this one though was uh, hey homicidal, how you doing,
Hello.
bud? Yeah, homicidal's in chat. He says, hey, I made it.
Thanks for making it here.
Uh, but one thing that threw me a loop. It was earlier in the episode. They how the shadow people, said that they were there to help the planet.
But
But last week's episode, it made it look like that they were running these test runs to find out ways to destroy the planet.
right,
But it
which
turns out
makes.
they were actually doing it to help us, to
But
prevent.
what are they benefiting from? That's what we don't know yet.
That's what's going to
And
be interesting.
are they gonna benefit from it and turn the whole world into an army or into slaves, or like,
It looked
and
crazy in next week's
yeah,
episode. It looks
and
like they want to rule it. It's like,
there's statues of the monks. It's like they want to be worshipped and they
mhm.
want to be treated as gods. But it's, oh god, I don't know. It was a good episode, but it wasn't expected in any way because like after it showed the monks and the consent in the preview, it was the monks have been there all along. So it's like with Martha when she traveled the world in a year,
Oh yeah,
and then once they defeated the Master, everybody forgot about that year. Nobody knew
yeah,
about it.
yeah. The Forgotten Year, yeah.
So it's like with the monks, they've now imprinted themselves that they were always there all along.
hmm
What is their motive is what I want to know. Why did they need consent? Why did they need to be asked? Why just,
Well, what it is what it seems like. It's like it turned. I mean, they didn't want to destroy the planet. They want to rule it. They want to
yeah.
rule. They want to rule the people of Earth too.
What brings them here now though? Like,
Well, remember they said that at the beginning. They're like, why here? Why now? Because remember they said like how they've been watching the Earth since the beginning of time.
right.
Pretty much is what he said. And the doctor was like, well, look at where we're at. We're on the brink of World War III, and the three world's most powerful armies were all
Dead
stationed
now.
kind of. Well, yeah, they were all,
Yeah.
yeah, because
They were all
they
acting
tried to
out of
consider,
fear.
yeah,
And you could tell Bill was scared, but when she found out because the doctor almost told her, and then he's like, wait a minute, I can blind
We can
them.
blind them.
And then it was like, oh,
But then he
brilliant.
did tell her though.
Yeah, he did tell her.
So she did
When
finally know.
yeah,
Yeah.
because she's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's saved. I'm gonna run out of here now. And then he's like, wait, there's something. He didn't say, he didn't brace her for it. He was just like,
I can't see.
I can't see anymore. I haven't been able to see. And that just stopped her dead in her tracks. And she's like, I have to do this. And the doctor's like, no.
Of course she feels bad for it, remember, because that happened to him from him saving her.
Yeah.
So of course she feels,
But
especially because she knows how special the doctor is and how important he is to the world. That's why she was like, they need you, you know, like you're way more important than me. So like that's why she was like she had to go for it.
And she acted in part for the doctor. She was a representative for the doctor because he is the president.
Because remember of the Earth, yeah. Because remember the Shadow people even said that they were like they went into their beginning like, do you consent? She's like, why me? I'm nobody. And she's like, and they're like, you speak for the doctor pretty much, right?
Yeah. And that they had made a comment how her being nobody was the most powerful person of all, because it's like you have all these high up people in the world, and then there's so many nobodies outnumber
the common man.
Yeah, like
there's more of them
high
than there
class.
is.
Yeah. But and leave it to see the scientists. If they were not drinking all the time and they're actually paying attention to work, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And that's what I like that they did. I like that they did that the end of the world that they were preventing wasn't, you know, nuclear war or World War III or anything like this. It was a complete accident.
A natural disaster that
it was too
hungover scientists.
Yeah, it was two inept scientists, like chemical researcher, whatever you want to call them, and what did she even say? It was the wrong decimal point somewhere in the computer program that altered this bacteria strain that just turned it super deadly, and it turned the one guy into a puddle.
Which,
like, that was crazy.
I actually heard, or I showed you, that they edited a scene because of the Manchester. Like, we haven't really discussed that, you know, and it's really unfortunate.
I forgot about that when we were watching that, but
I can understand.
There was a part where he said something about like how the world was kind of going to hell in a handbasket lately.
Yeah. And have we finally met world peace? You know, so I understand. I kind of wonder what it was, but I trust their judgment as to why they removed it.
I see why they did too, especially with it being
so close to home.
A big show in the UK and so close to home. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely, I'm glad they did it too. I'm definitely glad they did. I think when I read the article though, wasn't it? It was, I think all it was. Well, I don't want to say all it was. That sounds bad, but I think it was. I think he was just mentioning something about like terrorists. Or something. I don't
the monks could have been, or
like a form of them. Yeah. That they were. Yeah. That they were kind of like that. But yeah.
Which my prayers go out to those of Manchester.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really. I mean, obviously, I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't really.
I don't usually keep up with.
Yeah. You don't really want to keep up with it. I mean, you want to know because you want to know like
what's going on,
how many people were hurt and stuff.
But there's so much sad stuff in the news all the time that it's like you
have to focus on the positive, you know, or else it weighs you down. It brings you down.
Yeah. So, but that's one thing I was actually talking with my mom when I went over there today, is how throughout the episode I'm waiting. When are they gonna pull Missy out of the vault? When are they gonna have her help? And my mom stated that the doctor still can't trust her. Even though he saved her life, you can't trust her.
Well, remember he said something when he said something to her through the door. I think it was last week's. I don't think it was last night.
Yeah, it was last week's. It was the end of last week.
But he said
the beginning of last
but he said something. He's like they need our help. You know.
Yeah.
Like he was like, you could tell he was kind of like
Well,
Like, you need to be like with me, not against me this time. Like,
well, he had also mentioned that his secrets or something are so much harder in the dark with him being blind. His like memories and his secrets and everything is so much harder to deal with.
yeah.
But I really want to know what is the true motive behind the monks.
It's yeah. Next week's episode looks really good on the preview.
My
It was
theory
really
is
weird
like
too, because then
slavery.
yeah, it it's
They
I
want to
don't
be
necessarily
worshipped
want to
or
say that
well form of.
a form. Well, I know, like a form
Yeah,
of. I mean, more definitely like kind of like a dictatorship, kind of for
yeah.
sure. Like when it showed like Bill and all the people, like all the
Mm,
citizens, they were all like wearing black. They were all like kind of wearing like the same kind of clothes. Like it looked really
conform.
militant and yeah,
What is their motive?
it's and we also found out on last night's episode kind of just how powerful they are too. They
Mm-hmm.
literally could just touch you and like turn you into dust.
Right, and they stopped the missile that came from a submarine
Yeah, and that was
and the
weird.
plane, and
Yeah,
they didn't. I was so shocked when they stopped the plane and the missile that the people that
we're flying
initiated,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
that they weren't hurt or dead or killed. Because when it showed all three of the monks in the plane and they landed it and then they walked out of the plane, I thought they killed them.
yeah,
Ultimate bad guy thing to do is just
and then
kill them.
and the pilots and everything how they come out of the pyramid because they had a pyramid spaceship.
I was surprised by that. I was so surprised
Uh,
by that. I'm like, wait a minute, they're not dead. So are these monks really bad?
yeah, see exactly like how they didn't hurt him. So what that beam was, it was obviously technically like a like a teleport beam, because it
Yeah.
teleported them into the pyramid, and them out. Yeah,
Wow.
those shadow people or monks or whatever the hell they're calling them,
I love the creativity of Doctor Who. Because, I mean,
and
this just,
that's a Moffat one.
yeah.
That's such a true Moffat enemy and story.
You think they're dead and they're not dead, but the pyramid and I loved
That's
the
another
Doctor's
huge
wittiness
Moffat
though.
writing technique too. Is he loves taking this like he loves taking like famous or infamous or legendary like structures and oh yeah, by the way, it's a spaceship. He
Right.
did it with the moon before.
Hmm.
He did it this time with the pyramids.
Oh, I loved when he did. Wait, there's two different times.
Well,
Well,
no, the
no,
moon wasn't a spaceship. It was an egg.
it was
Remember,
an
there
egg.
was
I loved
it was
that
an alien
episode. That
inside
was
of it.
like the
Yeah.
pilot episode of Capaldi, where this TARDIS gets stuck in a dinosaur.
Oh, and that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one
I
too. Yeah.
love that episode because then you're like, oh, what is this beast? What is this monster? And you realize the moon is not the moon. It's a creature that's been in an egg
hmm
and is now casting that egg but planting a whole new egg, like kind of like a phoenix.
Oh yeah,
Like,
cause then it had
being
another
reborn.
one. Yeah, I forgot about that. That it did that too.
I
Yeah.
love the creativity of Doctor Who. It just surprises me all the time.
I
And
know, and we keep saying this every week too. It's gonna be interesting once Moffat's gone
yeah,
to see.
and that's the thing we didn't check to see last night is if because the
It
first
probably was
part
a
was
Moffat,
Moffat,
yeah.
so but it
What's gonna be curious is next one. If we need to try and remember to pay attention to next week's to see
yeah
if Moffat is still doing it down this line, or if maybe he passed it on to someone
well
else because
and
he started this arc.
yeah and with how seeing previous Moffat arcs like River Song and all of the other ones he's done, I wonder how much of this most recent one with the monks was more co-op with the new writer and just kind of like okay,
Yeah.
let's do like a
Well,
uh
even if his name
thing.
is the only one on the like credits,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he has help from the other writers too.
Well, yeah, obviously,
It's
but
not like he
it's
just sits by himself.
yeah.
I mean, granted, there probably is episodes he's done that he wrote literally just by himself, but it would be interesting. Like I told you, like one of my like dream like roundtable
Mhm.
discussions, I would love like if I could it'd be like me and like Moffat, Hideo Kojima,
Ooh,
um,
yeah.
God, who was
I
it
like
again?
uh
Oh hell,
uh,
Scott M. Gimple and Greg Nicotero from The Walking Dead.
but also um uh Ross,
Hmm?
Joss Whedon.
Oh, Joss Whedon.
See,
Yeah,
Joss
he
Whedon
would
I
be a good
like,
one too.
but I think Joss Whedon has more of a comedic view, if that's even the right word, compared to the others, because they're more
Hmm.
in depth, not necessarily serious, but more in depth. Whereas a lot of things I've seen from Joss Whedon have a sarcastic humor touch to them.
Hmm.
Like in Avengers, he killed this many people in 2 days. He's adopted.
He's a doctor.
You know, it's like that.
Watch
It
how
would
you
be cool
speak
to,
of my brother.
yeah,
He killed thousands of people.
yeah. See, so I mean, it would be cool to have Joss Whedon in there too. Um, Joss Whedon isn't too bad. I don't know if he's doing the next Avengers, but that would be a cool round table.
Yeah, he would be dope to have in it too.
You know what I have been seeing that I don't think I told you about is ads for uh lunch or dinner or something with 7 different doctors. Like it's like a sweepstakes thing that I've been seeing on Facebook where Capaldi has advertised and David Tennant has advertised for it. But
So what, you win it and then you get to have like lunch or
dinner
dinner with
with,
7 doctors?
yeah, with 7 or 9 doctors. There's gonna be like Sylvester McCoy, David Tennant,
Tom
Matt
Baker
Smith,
probably.
Tom Baker, Capaldi. So that's already 5, and then there's a
Paul
few other,
McGann
Paul
probably. Paul
McGann
McGann's still alive
and
too.
Sylvester McCoy, I think is
Oh,
one of them too.
and then David Tennant's
Yeah,
father-in-law or whatever.
yeah.
Bruce Davison.
No, Peter
Or
Davison.
Peter Davison, yeah, not Bruce.
Bruce. Wait, Bruce?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
where I got
See,
that.
but I mean, and if I was in London or if I lived in that country,
That would be nuts
I
to win
would
that.
be submitting for that nonstop. But I don't know what the sweepstakes rules and regulations are, and it's not like I'm gonna fly
I
across the
think even
fucking
if it was
world.
like just Tennant and Smith.
Right. Oh god, I would lose I would lose it. I'd be like,
I
oh
mean,
my
because those are
god.
like my 2 favorite doctors. See, even if it was any of them, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
But especially, yeah, that's crazy.
It's like
Whoever wins that, like that's
it also has something to do with Red Nose Day. So it's,
Rick Nosfield.
yeah. You've never heard of Red Nose Day?
No.
It's like a charity. I don't know
Is it a
exactly.
like UK thing or like a world thing?
No, I think it's a world thing.
Red Nose Day?
Yeah, it's like a charity. I'll Google it real quick because I can't believe you've never heard of Red Nose Day.
No. I I hear Red Nose Day and I think of like what, Christmas? You know, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Like that's
SaveTheChildren.org.
Red Nose Reindeer, Save the Children.
Yeah,
Make
see?
a donation. Save the Children is a proud charity partner of Red Nose Day. Feeding America. Have fun, make a difference. Learn how you can get involved with Red Nose Day.
See,
Oh,
because,
it's to help kids in poverty.
yeah. See, it's like a charity thing that they do because
It
on,
says on the 24th of March.
yeah. I can't believe you've never heard of Red Nose Day. I've always known it was like a donation thing.
No,
Because
I'd
it's
never heard
like
of it.
at grocery stores and gas stations, they'll have these little red noses that you can buy. And if you buy one, the funds go toward the charity. And that's what part of the meeting with 7 or 9 doctors is and also charity too. It coincides.
Yeah, that's awesome though. No, that's good, but I honestly can't think. I've never heard of it.
I am just so surprised you never heard of Red Nose Day.
No, I don't think
I
I've ever seen it like at the store or anything either.
I swear
Like
it's been at the store
donating
because
or
I
no,
think it's even been at 7-Eleven when I worked there. It was a
no, I
thing.
literally can't think
I
anything of
know
it.
I know it's been a thing for a good few years now,
Yeah.
but yeah.
All right, so yeah, next week's episode is definitely looks pretty good,
Yes.
especially continuing with this art. It's been a really good art so far. These last 2.
Now that the doctor can see, what is he gonna do to defeat the monks?
Yeah,
Is
now
there
that
a
you
way
can
to
see, yeah, the doctor's back now. So
is there a way that he can defeat the monks? Because in consenting, it was like a contract, but they didn't provide the little tiny writing terms and conditions.
see, that's the thing. If he starts trying to fight him, will he lose it again? You know, like we're
Yeah.
gonna take that out.
See,
Oh,
that's
see,
what I
Homicidal
didn't.
says I've always wondered if that happens anywhere else. I think Red Nose Day, and everybody's still talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, is it random? Yeah, because I think it does happen. I think it's like a worldwide thing.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's in South Wales.
that's right. Yeah, see, I
So
can't believe you
yeah,
haven't heard of it. But yeah, see, and that's the one thing that the doctor, like, even Bill was surprised with the doctor, like, yeah, aim, let's show him our defenses and try to blow him up, and Bill's like, wait, no, why is that a good idea? And he's just like, running out of ideas, because the doctor is always going on the last, like, he doesn't know his plan until he's doing it, because he's just
I
like
know
Matt Smith would always talk.
one thing. I mean, the Doctor's always kind of had his like kind of like cocky moments,
Mhm.
but Capaldi this season has had him a lot more. Like
Yeah,
the last couple episodes, he's had some really like where he's really like
but that's the one thing I love about the doctors. Even Matt Smith and David Tennant, they all had a way of solving it, like showing that they're solving it seconds before they figured it out.
yeah.
Like,
Well, that was a big staple of Matt Smith. Like
yeah,
I loved Matt Smith, like how he would always like talk it out. Like he was
yeah,
always talking out his thinking out loud is how he always
yeah.
did it.
And that's part of what um Capaldi did when he's like, yeah, blow him up, and then it didn't work.
Mm,
And Bill was surprised by that. I could tell she's like, wait, what? Why? But he was like, no, don't consent. You don't know what you're consenting to.
mm-hmm.
So now I guess we'll find out what they consented to, and
Yeah, next week
along
we
the
find
road
out.
we'll find out those terms and conditions.
Yeah, that was a nice segue because speaking of finding out, as we
Yes,
talked about last week's episode, we found out what Destiny 2 looks like from the
yes,
Destiny reveal. And
it is
I
beautiful.
mean, yeah. I mean, last week we already did talk about the reveal itself. So what I want to get into now is actually some of the information that's actually been coming out since then. I mean, the project lead Mark Noseworthy and the director Luke Smith, they've been doing a lot of interviews everywhere, and some of the ones I've just been paying attention. And I like what Bungie's doing because, I mean, obviously the main criticism, and I mean, for the most part, the community is hyped. You know, like for the most
Yeah,
part, the reaction has been phenomenal. Most people are just stoked and through the roof.
but
But the main criticism has been the 30 frames per second locked on console and no dedicated server,
yeah, peer to peer.
and with it still being peer to peer.
And
But
you
what I
would,
like though is Bungie's been taking it head on. They've been facing, answering all the questions and everything. And uh, I didn't do an episode of Destiny Unplugged this week, so I wasn't able to talk about it. So I'll talk
yeah,
about it now. The TWAB this last Thursday, this week at Bungie, they actually talked about it.
mhm,
They talked about the engine and the networking, and they said it's not. So while it's not a traditional dedicated servers, like you would see in games like Overwatch, but they said it's also not necessarily peer to peer like it was in Destiny 1. They said
yeah,
it's some kind of form of hybrid. So it is. It. I am stoked to hear that they at least have modified network. They said what they did is that they took the best from peer to peer. Because honestly, like in a lot of people that know about it, they all say the same thing too. Because peer to peer connections have their own pros and cons, and even dedicated servers have their own pros and cons as well.
right.
So what Bungie said in the TWAB this last Thursday is that they took the best from peer to peer and the best from dedicated servers and modified the peer to peer that they used in Destiny 1.
And
So it should. I'm hoping it's better. Obviously, the future will tell. But
that's true. And that is one that I'm actually going to get more into. Whereas I main Warlock, but I don't play as often as I would like. That's all because of me. But, and my attention span, really.
well, in the pan and also me playing it
But I'm
all the time too.
excited to when Destiny 2 comes out after the pre-order and you're playing it for a little bit once I get my own copy so that we can both play it on the PlayStation because I think that's going to be really cool. It won't just be split screen. It'll be your monitors, my
Hmm.
RTV,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
excited.
because I mean I pre-ordered only one copy so far. So I pre-ordered the Xbox version, and then eventually, I mean, really soon after launch, maybe hopefully day one if we can work out. I mean, we at least need to have it because we're gonna have to get two copies for PS4 so that so
Well,
that we can both play it.
speaking of expanding though as well, they're bringing it to PC. Although with
Right.
it being the PC, it's not going to come out
On day one is the
as
consoles.
day
That's
one.
right. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because the PC version is delayed, but the console versions are still slated for September
Yeah.
8th. And but E3, this is kind of going in with the E3 as well. As Bungie has said that they are going to be at E3. Granted, I'm not really expecting it to be anything as big as the reveal. I mean, yeah, I think we'll learn and see some new things, but I think it's just going to be kind of low key. And I'm hoping that we get the beta date though. Like, they have to tell. If they don't tell us the beta date at E3, yeah, granted they can still do it on their own after, but I think a lot of people would be let down if they don't give us a date on E3.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are kind of thinking that on E3 they're going to be like, all right, it goes live now, like one of those things. And I
Maybe.
kind of hope they do, but there's this Easter egg that somebody noticed in that live stream reveal.
Of course, there's an Easter egg.
Bungie loves their Easter eggs, and
Yes.
I think there's some validity to this. Obviously, I don't know if Bungie's been asked about it because I haven't heard anything. I'm sure maybe an interviewer has asked him. And Bungie probably, I don't know, they would probably beat around the bush, but there was a clip that someone noticed in some of the gameplay footage of the live stream reveal. The glimmer, or was it? The glimmer in the corner was at 98, which they say 9/8, September 8th, day the game comes out, and then the other number next to it, I can't remember what it was for, or no, the 98 was the legendary marks. That's what it was. It was 9/8 for the legendary marks. Then the glimmer said it was like 7/7/17. So they're thinking July 7th, 2017. So a lot of people are thinking that they actually
That would be cool.
Easter egg the day, and I think that's perfect because
That
for a
would
few
make
reasons.
perfect sense.
Yeah, because Bungie is obsessed with the letter sevens. They have so many, like, just everything in sevens. But not only that, July 7th would be perfect for a beta release because it puts it in that perfect timeline of having it not too far away from launch and not too close to launch to where, because like we said, like we were talking about the servers, this beta is going to be a huge stress test on that new network, or on this updated engine or network.
And if it doesn't work, they're still going to come out with the release, but I think maybe they're preparing for if it doesn't, what to fix.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this beta, it has to be perfectly timed. It can't be too far away from launch, and it can't be too close. Because if it's too close, and then there's all these issues,
And that would make
they need time
perfect
to fix
sense
it.
for
July
July.
puts it right in the middle of E3 and
How did you
September
not
8th.
tell me that before?
I didn't tell you about that Easter egg yet?
No.
Oh, I thought I did.
That's a really cool Easter egg, though. That's going to be awesome. July 7th to 17th.
So that's my guess. That's what I think they're gonna do. Like I think we'll see in the E3.
Maybe it'll be a lucky day. Lucky number 7.
It just
Superstition.
seems too perfect for it not. Because then there are some people saying, "Oh, you're just reading," that this person was reading too much into it. But that makes perfect sense. Isn't that's too ironic that those two numbers next to each other was 7/7/17 and 9/8.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is that's one thing with Bungie is even when Halo was around, there's Destiny Easter eggs, so it's not too crazy to think. It's very plausible if you know anything about Bungie at all. It's very plausible.
They love their subliminal messages and hidden things and Easter eggs and stuff in games.
Yeah. I will be really shocked if it isn't 7/17.
I showed you that Easter egg in Destiny, that building that looks like Master Chief's helmet. I showed you that. Like, there's a ton, and I love that they did that. I think it was in Halo. Was it Halo Reach or Halo ODST?
I never really played Halo.
It was one of those last Halos that Bungie made, and there was a poster on the wall in one of the levels that said, like Destiny, something Destiny, or your Destiny something, and it was clearly like the planet with a little moon-like thing by it, which now we know looks very eerily like the Traveler.
Like the Traveler. I'm excited to see what is to come with Destiny 2. because I regrettably haven't gotten into Destiny as much as I've wanted,
Mm,
but with all this hype of Destiny 2 and it being a whole new start over for everybody, it would be nice to put in my practice for it
yeah, it's gonna be
and play
it's perfect for you to dive into it. I mean,
with.
because how it is like essentially a fresh start, pretty much.
Yeah. And tomorrow, since I'm not going into work, maybe, just maybe, we could set it up so I can play Life is Strange and give a
Hmm.
review on that one next week. Because I still haven't played it.
Yeah,
I've wanted to
I
play
mean,
it so bad.
I can stream on like PS4 and PC. I've actually been playing a lot of PC the last couple days. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because I want to talk about that real quick. Because I finally got PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been having a blast with that
Mm-hmm.
game. That game has been so fun. Um, yeah, it's
See,
great. It's such a good time, and
once
they do have plans to have it to release it on console eventually too.
once we're in a bigger place that's one of our own, just me and you, I wouldn't mind playing that game because you show me when you first got it. You show me, and I was actually able to move around and run and jump
No,
and.
that was Wildlands.
Oh, it was
Hmm.
Wildlands? Oh, well, I'm just confused then.
No,
But it
yeah,
was still,
Wildlands, but it still controls the
yeah,
same. They're both third person shooters.
yeah. But it was fun controlling that on PC because I never really played too much PC. But it's one that I would even like to try and play sometime when we have
Hmm.
a better setup and we have more space and more time to be like, okay, teach me how to do this, and then next thing you know, I'll get my own
Yeah,
PC.
and me and you was talking about this earlier too. Like, I cannot wait for Destiny on PC.
That's gonna be so beautiful.
Yeah, I do want to mention that too, though, because how we did talk about consoles are locked at 30 frames.
Mm-hmm.
The PC though, the PC version is uncapped. So if you have a decent computer, you can run it at 60 or above frames. Maybe even because it's uncapped, so you can even get up higher. If your rig can push it into the hundreds or so. Uh, I mean, I have Overwatch for PS4, and I almost played it today. I haven't played it that much, honestly. It's a great game, but it's just one of those weird games. I just haven't really played it that much. But I want to get it for PC. Like, it seems like one of those games that like it's just built for PC. Like Borderlands 2 is like that. Like I have it on Xbox One, and I played it a lot on Xbox One, but ever since I got it for PC, like that game is so butter on PC.
Yeah.
And
There's
yeah, so
lots to come.
yeah, lots to come. Especially E3 is coming up in a couple weeks. I think it was starting around like June 12th or something, like somewhere in that range.
And lo and behold, we are now 2 months away. We are, let's see, a little over a
Mm.
week, two
Oh,
months away from the wedding.
well, like 2.5 or something. Well, yeah, a
I'm
little
just
over
really,
two.
yeah, I'm just really starting to count down because it's like we're gonna get married in 2 months,
It's flying. Cause when we got engaged, it was like,
September.
yeah, it was like 11 months or something
Mhm.
until we were gonna get married, and it's just blown by. But yeah, we're down into the last minute of the audio version, so we got to do a little housekeeping, is what they call it.
Is
So yeah, thanks for listening. If you're listening to the audio version, make sure you follow the show for all the future episodes at Spreaker.com/user/sportsnerdweb. If you want to watch these shows live, we stream it every Sunday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time at twitch.tv/Solgr only.
and if you want to see what I did earlier, check out my Instagram at Fusha only.
Exactly. And you can follow my Instagram at SoldierOnlyGaming. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsUnder48. I always tweet out any updates with the channels and everything like that. Um,
Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll have another episode next week, and hopefully we'll have a review for Wonder Woman, because that is coming out. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Deuces.
Perfect.
I want contacts for the wedding.
Good.
I was just thinking about that. I could see the glare in my glasses, and I'm like, I miss contacts. I
Right?
miss them, babe.
I know. Yeah, you haven't had your contacts for a while. So. All right. So onion needs to wrap.
That up.
yeah, I need to wrap up this part. Um, the
Thank you,
uh, uh,
Homicidal Do.
yeah, I'm gonna keep streaming though, so
Yeah.
I'm just ending this part and I'm gonna take a break cause I end it here and put it on YouTube. But
I'm gonna put
if you're
clothes
watching
away.
this on YouTube, like I said on the audio version, you can watch our podcast live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time at twitch.tv/Solgr only. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button if you like the video. Sub to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
And that's where I'll end the clip.
And put
So yeah, but like I